Hi there, and welcome to the Faculty Media Creation Hub instructional videos. I am your host, Dr. Russell Betts, and I'll be guiding you through today's video. Today we'll be discussing Introduction to iMovie. For those of you who are familiar with Apple Macintosh products, you probably already know a little bit about iMovie, but today we're going to give you just a quick intro. Hopefully you'll learn something, and if it's just a review, that's also fine. So let's start. Now, as an Apple Macintosh user, you probably already know about Spotlight, but in case you don't, Spotlight is a great tool that you can use just to start programs or pull up documents without having to hunt for them on your machine as long as you know the name. So hit Command Spacebar, and this pops up. This is the last thing I searched for. I misspelled iMovie. Just type in iMovie into this search bar and hit Enter, and it will launch iMovie for you. There we go. And there we have it. So here, this is our project. It's called My Movie. It's just a generic project name. You can rename it later. And here's a little bit of a video clip that I've already imported for this video. Now, how did I get this clip? Very simple. You click on this button right here. This is for importing media. Click on that. And here's the media that I wanted. I just found it on my desktop. And then I clicked Import. And it will import it into your media. So here it is. Here's my video clip. I've already imported it. Now, it's actually not part of my project yet. It's just sitting up here in the media clips. So to put it in my project, it has to actually be down here. You have to put the clip down here. So all you got to do, and in Macintosh, and I guess now Windows uses the same thing, it's called click and drag. So I'm going to click, hold the mouse button down, and drag the clip down to this area here. So click, left click, drag, and then it's called drop or let go of the mouse button. So click and drag, and then drop. Now this video, this little clip is now part of my movie. Now I can take it back out, simply highlight it by clicking on it and hit delete, and it's gone. But I want it, so let's put it back. Click, drag, hold, and drop. Now, there you go. If you wanted to end your project here, you could. You could export this to YouTube right now, but it doesn't have a lot of flair. It doesn't have anything kind of fun going on. So why don't we add some flair? How about a title? See, if you look up here, we have My Media, Audio, Titles, Backgrounds, Transitions. We have a bunch of things to choose from. So let's choose titles. Let's just put a title into our movie. Now, if you look at all these different titles, and there's a lot of them, I'm scrolling down to see more, Apple gives us a lot of titles we can use. And the cool thing about this is if you just put your mouse over one of the titles you want to see, and click spacebar, you can see the animation of the title, and it'll keep repeating itself. Or it should. There we go. Just click it, highlight it, and then it'll keep repeating itself. Okay, so if you click it, highlight it first, and then hit spacebar, it'll repeat itself over and over. So you can get an idea of what the title is going to do. Now, I'm not going to go through all these titles for this video, but you can yourself. You can see what they do. Now, a crowd favorite, or one that people seem to really like, is this one, Pixie Dust. People seem to really like Pixie Dust. Let's see what it does. There, has some stars thrown in behind it there. Kind of nice. One that I'm kind of partial to is Lens Flare. I really like Lens Flare. I think it's kind of cool. There you go. Pretty neat. So I'm going to use Lens Flare. I'm going to put a title into my video. So I'm going to click, drag, and hold, and then drop it. Now I'm dropping it at the beginning of the video. I could have dropped it anywhere I want it. I can pick it up, click and drag, and move it anywhere in the video I want. And wherever I drop it, that's where it will play. If I don't like it there, I can always click, drag, and hold, and drag it somewhere else. So let's put it in the front. Now, notice up here, this is the preview screen up here. I can change the name of my video. So right now it just says title. I'm going to call it My First Movie. There we go. And of course, if you highlight it and then come up here, you can change the font. I like copper plate, so let's make it to copper plate. And sometimes it won't allow you to change the font size, and that's okay. Other fonts will. So let's just take a look. Now, we've got it done. Hit enter. Come on now. Enter. There we go. And then preview it. Now you're going to want to look at it as soon as you do it to make sure it's what you want. So let's play it. Now all I did was I moved the mouse to the beginning of my video and I hit spacebar. You don't have to click, just hit spacebar. There you go. Let's try that again. Hit spacebar again to stop it. Move the cursor to the beginning of your movie, hit spacebar. And there you go. Hit spacebar again to stop it, click it back. Watch it again. It's a little fast. And oops. And did you notice at the very beginning of my video, the title is already showing. So maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want a few seconds of video before the title shows. So just click this and then just drag it a little bit to the right and then put your cursor all the way back here to the left and hit spacebar. So there, now you had a few seconds of video before the title, which kind of looks a little bit better if you ask me. Now let's say you wanted the title to last a little longer. Say 4 seconds was too short. All you got to do, take your mouse and go to the right of this little box. See how the cursor changed? Became an arrow left, arrow right with a bar in the center. You can use this to change the time of your title. All you got to do when you see this cursor, the left, right arrow and the bar in the middle, click and hold and then drag. I'm dragging to the right and now you can see I'm adding time to my title. If I go to the left, I take time away from my title. So now if I were to stop here, my title would be 1.09 seconds. We started at 4, so let's make it a little longer. Let's make it 6. There you go. And then when you have the time you want, just unclick or let go. So here we go. So now it's going to last a little bit longer, 6 seconds to be, well, 5.9 seconds to be exact. Not bad. Okay, and that's how you put a title in. Now, if you like the title over your video content, that's fine. You can leave it there, no problem. But a lot of people don't like having their title interfering with their content. So how do we fix that? Well, first of all, let's get a background. We need a background. So click on this, and Apple supplies you with, a few backgrounds, not too many. I would like it to be more, but to get more, you have to pay. You have to buy a program called Final Cut Pro, which is the professional version of this software. Personally, I've had Final Cut Pro. It's a good piece of software. It does a lot more than iMovie, but I found myself not using any of it. Really, the stuff that I used was already available for free in iMovie, so I just stick with it. So here's some backgrounds. Some of these backgrounds actually have animation. So if you let them play long enough, you'll see that they're animated, like underwater, for example. You can see a little bit of animation there. I'm personally partial to either stars, industrial, or gradient. They're the ones that I like. You can pick whatever ones you like. Preview them. Make sure you like them. So I'm going to pick the stars one, and I'm going to throw it down here. So what am I doing? Click, drag, drop. Notice how my video clip moved to the right to accommodate this background. And now the background is there for 4 seconds. What happens if I want the background to be there for less time, say 2 seconds? Well, the same way we modified the time of the title, you can modify the time of the clip. Notice I have the left, right arrows with the bar. Again, click, and then drag. So now I'm going to the left, putting less time. I can go to the right and put more time. Let's put it at 5 seconds. Same way. This is the same way I changed the time for the title. Same thing. So 5.02 seconds, close enough. Oops, sorry, my light went out. Motion sensors, come on. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So now, I want to move my title over to the background. So just click, drag, and move. There we go. Now notice, the title is a little bit longer than the background. Let's try it, see what happens. Let's see what it looks like. There we go. Title's a little bit long, I think most people will agree. And then my title actually creeps into my content. So I have to either make the background longer to match the title or make the title shorter to match the background. I'm going to make everything a little shorter because 5.9 seconds seems like a long time. Let's bring it down to 4 seconds. Let's bring everything to 4. There we go. And then we'll bring this down to 4. Now the nice thing is this will snap to it. See how it just kind of snapped? So the program actually will help you to align your titles with your backgrounds. It's called Snap to Grids. It's called snapping to a grid, basically is what they're doing. So you just kind of scroll to the left, and then all of a sudden will just go to where you want it, then let go. Now let's play it. Oops. Get over here. There we go. My first movie. 4 seconds seems like it might still be a little bit too long, but that's okay. So there we go. Now we put a nice title in our video. We have the nice background. I think it looks pretty pro right now. Now let's put in a transition. Because notice what happens between my video title and my content. It just kind of jumped to it. Just kind of jumped to it. See that? It's not really smooth. It's just bam into the content. So I'm going to put in what's called a transition. And transitions are up here. And transitions make your videos look really professional. So click on transitions. And again, there's a lot of them here. There's a lot of different ones. Some of them are, I think, really cool. Some of them are, to me, a little bit less so. But it's up to you, whatever you like. I am partial to page curl. I think page curl just looks pro. I think it looks really nice. Cross zoom and some of these other ones, ripples and stuff, they're all pretty good. So just pick one. They're all good. So let's pick page curl. So again, you can click it and hit the space bar and it'll show you the animation. Here's, puzzle, that kind of stuff. Looks pretty good. Let's pick page curl right. Click, drag, and drop in the center, right between them. There we go. Now let's play it. Let's see what it looks like, because you may not like it. My first movie, here we go. There's a transition. Now that transition, I think, happened pretty fast. I want it to go a little bit longer, because it kind of was like, speed curl, So let's double click on this. See this little kind of a sideways hourglass? Double click on it. And now here you can change the title, or pardon me, you can change the duration of the transition. Let's increase it to 2 seconds. Hit number 2 and enter. And now let's play it. Let's see what it looks like now. There, I think that looked a little better, don't you? Looked a little better. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to leave that. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now we put a title or an intro slide, an intro portion. Now we want to put in a little bit of an outro or credits, if you will, at the end. I personally like to exit with the stuff I came in with. In other words, I want to keep my title, keep my background, and keep my transition. Now notice, in Apple, most of you probably already know this, if you just click on one of these things, it'll, it changes what you're highlighting, right? So now I'm working with the title, now it's the background, now it's the transition, and you could copy and paste every individual one and move them over to the end, but that's going to take a little bit of time. Let's do it a little bit more eloquently, and let's hold down the Command key. It's beside the spacebar, Command key. Hold it down. Now watch what happens. I'm holding down the Command key. Click, click. As you hold down the Command key, now I've selected more than one item. So I can select the title, the background, and the transition just by holding down the Command key. Now, if you want to copy it, go copy, and then move the cursor to the end. Click and hit paste. And there we go. My transition, my background, and my title are at the end. But the transition's in the wrong spot. It needs to be here, not here. Well, don't be afraid. Click, hold, and drag it to the other side and drop. We may have to play with this a little bit. Let's see. Ah, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. There you go. And that little bit of dead space right here where there's just a starry background, you may or you may not like that. If you like it, just leave it. If you don't like it, you can always drag this to the end. Let's have a look at what that looks like. My first movie. And then the title will stay right till the end. There we go. So that looks pretty good. So here we have our first iMovie project done. We've made titles, we've made backgrounds, transitions, we have our content. Now we can post to YouTube, or you can save it as a file, depending on what you wanted to do. To do that in iMovie, you simply go up here to this little box right here, click it, and now you have numerous choices on what you can do with your video. Probably what most of you will want to do is go to save it to YouTube or save it as a file. Now, I'm going to show you how to save to YouTube. Click the YouTube button, and this is assuming you've already done your due diligence, you've already signed yourself up, you've already done what you're supposed to do. If you haven't, signing up for a Gmail account is something you're going to have to have a YouTube account. And having a YouTube account is a good way to post all your video. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. So I would recommend doing that. Now I've already set it up. Here's my username, Frank Lucy 2010. Don't email me there because I'll never answer that email. But that's how you do it. And then you just say, okay. So now you can title your movie here. You can change the title right now if you want. You can change it to My First Movie. You can type in a description here. If you don't want to do it now, you can do it later, but a description is very important. iMovie, you can change the resolution. My webcam only goes to 720p, so I'm stuck with a 720 resolution. I'm going to get a better webcam that does 1080p, but that's why I'm stuck at 720. It's my webcam is not the best. Science and technology is what I post into because that's what I do, science and tech. You may pick anything you want. And now this is probably the most important setting, privacy. There's 3 different settings. Private. Private means only you can see it. Only the owner of the account with the password can see the video. Even if you share the link with a friend, your friend won't be able to view it because it's set to private. Public, on the other hand, is the opposite of private. Everything is viewable. Everything is searchable by the YouTube algorithms, and it will come up for people you don't know. Unlisted now is kind of a happy medium. It doesn't show up in the search grids. You can't search for your video, and your video won't show up unless you give someone the link. If you give someone the link, then they can view it. And if they share the link, you can't really stop them from doing that. Be aware of that. But this is probably the safest way to do things unless you want your video to be searched. If you want the public to be able to watch your videos, put it to public. No harm, no foul. If you just want your students, put it to unlisted. I generally post all my videos as unlisted and then change it later if I decide to make it public. Once you have all this stuff figured out, click next. And then you have to agree to YouTube's policies and stuff like that. And up she goes. And then there's a little progress bar right here. And if you want, you can click on it and it'll tell you the status of your movie being uploaded. Now, this is a very short clip. It's less than 2 minutes. It's probably going to post very quickly. Now, be aware that when you post your videos, they won't go up nearly as fast, especially if you're doing hour-long things or an hour and a half, maybe 2 hour-long videos, like sometimes professors tend to do. We post our lectures. Those might take hours to post, depending on how fast YouTube's working and your upload speed. If you're uploading from work, it tends to go a little faster than uploading from home because generally speaking, most people don't have a very fast internet connection to post up. We all have a fast download, but uploading is much slower, typically with private home accounts. The school has a faster upload speed. So my advice is do everything here at work. Besides, you're doing this for work, so why would you do it at home, right? All right, so now it's posted. Now, just because it's posted to YouTube doesn't mean it's ready to view. Sometimes YouTube will take time to process your video to get it to their specifications. Don't let that worry you. It'll be available eventually. Now, my advice with YouTube videos, posting to YouTube, is do all of this right before you leave for work. Let it post while you're home. Let it do its little uploading thing while you're at home. That way you don't waste a lot of your time waiting for videos simply to upload. It's kind of boring to watch. It's worse than grass growing. Okay? So that's a quick intro to iMovie, and I promise you it does a lot more than what I'm showing you right now. There's a lot of other things I can show you with iMovie, but right now I just wanted to have a quick video, how to add titles, how to add backgrounds, how to do transitions, and how to post. So I hope this has been very helpful to you. Please let me know one way or the other. Please let me know what kind of videos that you may want to see or things that I can help you do. And please feel free to contact myself or Dr. Perdian with any help with any of the equipment in the Faculty Media Hub on the North Campus of Broward College. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.